The National Maternity Hospital project was first announced in 2013. That is now 8 years ago. Like the National Children's Hospital, the real scandal with the development is the skyrocketing costs. 2018, the original cost was in the region of 150 million. 2017-18, the costs had risen by over 100% to an estimated 350 million. 221, last Friday in fact, we're told by the Minister for Health that the building infrastructure cost has been priced at 500 million. Further commissioning costs, including fit-out and transferring an entire hospital to a new site, will be a further 350 million. That is 800 million, 4 times the original estimate. Given the utter lack of competence by their government to manage major projects, and the officials in Ireland as well, we have to look at the Children's Hospital. We have to look at this. Look at broadband. Look at everything else. The ineptitude is frightening. We're going to have to get some foreign authorities in here, outside people that will oversee this and bring this to book. It's disgusting, just madness. Any business wouldn't survive a week if they're behaving like that. As I said, this is the real issue surrounding the National Maternity Hospital, I believe. Taxpayers will once again be left to carry the can. Always. Taxpayers are sorry and tired of this. How 8 years on, a building work at the site of St Vincent's campus in South Dublin is still at preliminary stage. And you can blame the sisters all you like. There's nothing got to do with them. Meanwhile, each year, more than 8,000 women continue to give birth in wholly ill-suited, crowded conditions in the Victorian-era building at Holles Street. Government politicians rehearse the same arguments that have failed delivery of the project from the beginning. Very same mantra. Under a plan that is once a statement about the state's ambitions for the modern healthcare and for a messy compromise rooted in the century of official neglect in the same area, the government will build an 800 million hospital on, as I said, this site, if they ever get to build it. And this is where the problem is. So I am very concerned, that this is on Tuesday, 22nd of June, the St Vincent Hospital Group, it's only yesterday, has said that it must retain ownership of the site that the new National Maternity Hospital will be built on. This means that the hospital group is happy to proceed with the arrangements with the religious sisters of charity. I heard you last Sunday, I think, on radio saying you were going to meet him. I heard you this morning on online saying you're going to meet him. When are you going to meet him? Why not sit down and talk to him? Rather than bashing him up and down the country and bashing him everywhere, why not meet them? Sit down and respect them for what they are and what they've done for this country as well. Clearly, this announcement from the hospital can be viewed as a direct message to the government parties to stop playing politics with issues. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. In a statement, the group said that it is more than willing to meet the government to discuss the relocation of the hospital from Holles Street. However, it added that for delivery of integrated patient care at Ellen Park campus, St Vincent Health Group must retain ownership of the site. And that's their position. So, why not meet them and talk to them? You know what I mean? As I said, I believe that this whole saga is more now to do this week with a by-election in Dublin Bay South. And that's a sad state of affairs, that we can kick the sisters up and down the streets and all over the country and bash them. And Deputy Tobin is right. There's an apartheid here. There's bigotry here. There's hate speech here, which we're jumping up and down every day of the week talking about it. There were horrible things done by some members of different orders and by priests. And are we going to say bashing all the rest of the good ones forever? The good people that have given so much service to educate our people and ran the hospitals. And when the Maters were running the hospitals, they were clean, there was no MRSA, and they were run properly. Not the shambles of a health service that we have now. So I think it's appalling the way the language has been used here, and the way the sisters have been harangued and bullied and sullied, and you won't sit down and meet them. But no, you're at it to try and garner votes in the by-election. You delay and procrastinate, and delay and delay and delay. And the good sisters up and down the country that educated the most of us and brothers are being tarnished and destroyed, their good name. The bad ones have no truck at any point. They should be rooted out and dealt with, and anyone who suffered abuse and met someone side today should be compensated and helped. But this bashing of the religious orders in this house, it makes me sick to my core. It's a Christian country, but the Christian attitudes here to our religious is shockingly disgusting. And the Taoiseach and everybody else tarnished her. Engaged in it. He started off this because of the Dublin by-election. We know that they had a big vote there for the repeal, I think 70% or something, and this is the electorate they're playing to. And it's so sad that they dumped the sisters under the bus, but worse than that, they allow women have babies give birth in hospital that's totally unfit. Why don't you go and buy a site elsewhere and leave the sisters alone. Buy a site or CPO or whatever and move on. Thank you.